Welcome to Lethbridge Got Talent, a celebration of young talent, passion, right here in the heart of Lethbridge. In small town like ours, supporting youth talent takes a special significance. These talented performers, they pour their hearts and souls into their craft to overcome challenges and chase their dreams. So from breathtaking performances on stage to heartwarming personal anecdotes, we'll witness the awe-inspiring talents of these young stars. So join us as we shine a spotlight on the incredible talent right here in Lethbridge. Before we get into the amazing youth auditions, here are some interviews with youth champions to set the stage as to why it's important to support youth in our community.
So to have somebody come along and say like, I think you're good at this, or I think you should develop this talent, can mean the world of difference, right? Like it can mean a youth going from being like, I don't think I'm good at anything, to them feeling like they could conquer the entire world. So I think just having somebody in their life to say, yes, you're good at this, you matter, I'm here to support you in whatever talent you're trying to pursue, that is, yeah, that's probably one of the biggest things I'd say.
I think anyone in the community who's involved with youth, I hope they really keep that top of mind, that whether it's a volunteer position or if it's your job, you can't ignore that you've got a big opportunity to be a role model and to maybe be a part or a catalyst of that community that could make a huge difference in someone's life.
We gotta give them the space. We gotta, I hate using the word permission, but I mean, we gotta give them permission to take big swings.
The impact that they have, just spending time with kids and youth, is probably the best part.
In 2022, the Lethbridge Child and Family Poverty Report found 15.2% of children aged 0 to 17 are living in low-income environments within the Lethbridge Census metropolitan area. Research has also shown that low socioeconomic teenagers and young adults who participate in the arts tend to have better critical thinking skills, academic results, and higher career goals. By providing opportunities for youth to showcase their talent and confidence in their abilities, we as a community can directly impact their future and cultivate a creative generation. So, in order to find out about youth in our community, we decided to go directly to the people working with them. So I hope you enjoyed the interview and insights shared about youth.
What Youth One does for the youth in the community is provide a safe place that meets a practical need that's filled with caring adults. And those three things are so important because we really want youth to meet their full potential. We want to see them reach their full potential. And from the studies that we have seen, those three things can make some of the biggest differences in a youth's life. So a place where a youth can feel free to be themselves is huge. When we meet a practical need, people just do better. Like when you feed somebody, they're gonna be better. And caring adults make the world of difference in a person's life.
One thing I have been very proud of is working with the Lethbridge Music Academy, and obviously I can't take any credit. We've got an amazing team. We've got an incredible group of teachers that help us too, and they're the ones who are face to face with these students every week. But it's this really awesome opportunity every week where we're not just offering music lessons, but we get to talk to them about their week a little bit. We make sure they're doing good, and we ask them how they're doing with their music, and it's a really amazing thing on their own to feel like they're part of an academy. They can take that music and come back with it, and it can be something that they're proud of. But then kind of on a more macro scale, having things like the recitals, or sometimes you do online, not competitions, we do like online incentives for practicing and stuff with our students, and it's always really neat to see them come together and get excited about it, and they're excited to come to their next lesson and talk to us or their teacher about what they saw other students doing.
BGC Youth Center is probably, it's one of my favorite parts of BGC. It is a mostly completely free program. I know they charge for summer camps, which is absolutely fair, but it is a completely free program that has youth campus, has raised a grade. It's just like a great hub for teens. Who need it.
CAS's mandate is to have art educational programming that is accessible to the community at any level, basically. And we offer a whole variety of mediums: clay, textile arts, sewing, woodworking, printmaking, drawing, a whole range of stuff for all ages, like 6 and up, basically.
So we wanted to find out, how important is it to have youth spaces for youth in the community?
If we can develop that community for them where they can find a place with music, I know for myself personally, that was something that I was very grateful to have all through my youth, whether that was, in choirs in school or in church, or, being in bands with my friends or concert bands in school. All of these kind of things that really help us feel like part of something bigger. And at the end of the day, if we can use that to help people focus in on maybe the things that are most important, which is, developing our talents and finding good, healthy relationships with people, and, being part of something that is dedicated to lifting everyone up rather than anything that's destructive, then if we can be a part of that, then I think that's definitely the greatest thing we could hope to be a part of.
I think it's vital. I think like the art education in schools often kind of gets put on a back burner and ignored, and sort of, there's so much. I think teachers are kind of overwhelmed with sort of how much they have to actually teach. So then having this sort of separate space and programming where students are able to come and develop art skills further, I think is really important.
Because kids are growing. Like, they need space. They need space to figure out who they are, what they need, what they want from life. And like a place like BGC, especially the youth center, is a place where they can meet friends or learn about things that they probably won't learn at school. And then it's a safe space.
Having an art making space that's like a central hub and has so many resources and is also very affordable and very accessible is so crucial to having a healthy arts community.
We need spaces like Youth One, the YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, any of these organizations. We need them for Lethbridge because, like I said before, when you affect a youth's life, you affect their entire family. And if we want to see our community grow, I think we need to start with our youth, because we'll see their families better off, we'll see them better off, we'll see in a generation an entirely new Lethbridge that'll be further ahead than anywhere else. If we take the time as Lethbridge to go and invest in youth, we really can do this. It's not as hard as we make it seem. We just do what we can. We either give our time, we give our money, or we just make an effort. And doing any of those things will make a huge difference.
The next series of questions explored how can we encourage and support our youth to develop their talent.
When kids don't feel confident that they're going to have success, then they're unwilling to try new things. So establishing that kind of environment where they feel encouraged and supported is crucial.
I think we as a community can really just foster kind of a hunger for learning and education, and really helping people see that, there's this huge world outside of our own little bubbles that we all kind of get comfortable living in, and doing our best to sort of see what other people are doing and look at what other cultures have that maybe we can benefit from, and kind of putting it all together from there.
It's helpful for them to have a space where they can be themselves, and if they want to try out different names, they can. If they want to try out different pronouns, they can. And it's just a nice place for them to know that that's a thing.
We need to find the resources to give young people the opportunity. And for some people, it's minor hockey or minor soccer, and that's fantastic. For other people, it's dance or it's piano lessons. And I think being able to find those resources, there are some out there that are provided by institutions and government to an extent, but being able to go out there and tap into the community, businesses and individual donors, and saying, hey, we're raising money to put on this theater production, or we're raising money to send kids to a music camp or something like that. I think that's critically important.
So we wanted to explore what are some of the impacts these youth spaces have for the youth in the community.
I have thousands of kids that I've taught at this point. And yes, there are some who have gone on to do film and television and live stage shows, but those thousands of kids who didn't go on to become professional actors, the skills that they learned in the fine arts program here at Chinook and the other schools I taught at, we explicitly talked about things like empathy. And if I could name one thing that is lacking in our society as a whole, it's empathy. And I don't think there's anywhere else that explicitly teaches empathy except for the fine arts classroom.
A lot of kids get bullied, they get called slurs. We have kids that are unable to come out to their parents. There's a lot of still like discrimination towards these kids, and it's helpful for them to have a space where they can be themselves.
We do a lunch program where students who are in high school can come and get a free lunch Monday through Thursday. And at the end of the summer this last year, I had a youth come up to me and ask me if we were still going to be doing that program. And I kind of like, it was a silly question to me. And I was like, yeah, of course we're going to be doing that program. And then this youth actually was like, okay, good. Because my family has actually really come to count on the lunches that we get here for me and my siblings. It saves us a lot of money. And for me, that was like just a bit of like a moment of realization. I was like, yeah, actually, this like when we run these programs, yes, they affect the youth directly, but the impact goes so much further out to their families, their siblings. It goes so far when we care about one youth. We actually care about our entire community.
A lot of our teachers have had that, where they've had a student who, whether it's home or, a lot of times it's school troubles, they might not feel like the most popular kid at school, or maybe they don't feel like they have the most friends, but then they can come here and find that community. And, within 3-4 months, it's this completely different person that's sitting in front of us. And so it's an amazing thing to kind of be a part of that, even if we're really just a small part of that. But kind of on a flip side, and I don't want to take too much time with the question, but we've even seen lots of instances where family relationships have improved through it. And again, we do what we do. We never try to overstep any boundaries or anything, but we've seen some really, really amazing instances too, where maybe a parent starts sitting in the lessons with the student, they start learning together, and what starts out maybe a little bit combative at times has grown into something where they really share this thing that they really look forward to every week. And it's a very powerful thing that we get to see, every so often, and when we do it, it reminds us just how, again, maybe I'm biased because we are music, but just how unifying music is, and really art, and anything we can really get passionate in general. So,
why is it so vital to have these creative programs for our youth in the community?
I think it's so important for us, like as humans, to see ourselves in things that we want to be able to do. And so it doesn't matter who you are. It's so important to be able to see somebody doing something that you think you can do as well. And that comes down to like a youth seeing another youth doing something awesome is going to inspire more youth to do something awesome, because they're finally seeing themselves in the people that are displaying their talent.
So to be able to have various forms of artistic expression, whatever it might be, singing, dance, visual arts, theater, whatever that might be, writing poetry, whatever it might be, having that opportunity and being encouraged to pursue that artistic impulse is very, very important. And at the end of the day, they may not end up as a professional music producer or a performer, but they will have had that foundation early in life to appreciate it and to instill those values into their kids and to future generations. So I think it's critically important to give arts education to young people.
I think what you're actually asking me is, how important is it that our kids breathe, Ollie? They need the arts. And I'm not just talking about drama. My love is drama, but I see it when I watch a dance performance on this stage. I see it when there's a battle of the bands. I see it when the choir sings and musical theater comes up here and does something like Mamma Mia. These kids need the arts like a drowning man needs a breath of air.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Lethbridge Got Talent. In the next episode, we'll be exploring some of the amazing youth audition and talent that reside here in Lethbridge.